Hi friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Mary if you're new here, and this is going to be another reading vlog. So I'm kind of on a roll with reading vlogs and I would like to keep the momentum going here. I am going to be reading at least 2, if not more, hyped releases. I have a goal this year to read 12 2022 releases over the year. I've already read one that's not going to be in this vlog because I read it last month and I did not vlog the experience of reading it, but I listened to it in like a day. And that was Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I will link my wrap up where I talk about that. It should be a very recent video to this, if this goes as planned. But I did manage to get 2 new releases that I was anticipating, and my holds came in from the library. So one of them is Sundial by Catriona Ward, which her book, The Last House on Needless Street, was one of my favorite reads of last year, and Sundial is already out, so I got that as an audiobook. And I also got Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie as an ebook. So I'm very excited to have both of those, and I'm just going to briefly touch on what they're about. And then I'm about 20% of the way through both of them, so I will just give you a quick rundown of how I'm feeling at this moment. And then, of course, I will check in with you as check-ins are needed. So for Sundial, it's another like horror book. This one has a lot of dead animals in it and like that kind of grotesque horror. So if that's not your thing, probably not for you. I mean, it's not my thing, but I don't know. It hasn't been too bad yet, but I've heard that that's one of the things that's like really present in this book. But we essentially are reading from the perspective of this woman, Rob, who is married to this guy who sucks. He's the worst. And they have 2 daughters. And Annie is the younger daughter that Rob feels more connected to. And then Callie is the older daughter that Irving, the husband, feels more connected to. Irving is like super abusive. He also is cheating on her. He's like a serial cheater. And they just have like a horrible marriage. But the kickstart for this book is that Callie, something is wrong with her. I don't know if it's going to be like she's evil or what it is, but something is not right with her. And we do get some chapters from her perspective. I'm not going to tell you anything that happens or anything that I've learned because I didn't know anything going into this book, and I like to not know anything going into books like this, and I don't want to ruin anything, obviously. So it definitely has a similar vibe to The Last House on Needless Street, if you've read that, where you're kind of just like getting snippets of day-to-day life, and the plot sort of comes around because of the snippets you get, if that makes sense. So that's where that one is. I'm admittedly not as into it as I was into The Last House on Needless Street. I felt like that book really hooked me from the beginning and I could not put it down, but that book also had a more strong premise that I was aware of, whereas this book sort of deals with people's histories, and specifically Rob's history and history repeating itself with Callie. But we don't really know what that means. It's just been hinted at. So I am listening to that right now, and I'm enjoying it. I've only listened to it for about an hour, which means that I'm about 2.5 hours in, because I listen on like 2.35 speed. So that's that one. And then Ophelia After All is a YA contemporary, which I know I've mentioned that I'm like not super loving YA at the moment, but I'm really liking Ophelia After All. I feel like already very attached to the main character, Ophelia. We're following her and her friends. They are seniors in high school leading up to prom, and it's just about like her friendships, but it's also her getting feelings for a girl, and it's unclear whether this is her like first crush on a girl ever or whether she's had crushes on girls before, but we know that she has an ex-boyfriend who she's still, like, they broke up like a year ago, but she's still kind of heartbroken over that whole situation. One of her girlfriends, both of the guys in their friend group are like vying for the attention of this one girlfriend of hers, and she's really close with one of the guys. He's her next door neighbor. We also get a really good description of a bunch of different foods. So Ophelia is half Cuban, so her family eats a lot of Cuban food. I can't remember now. Sammy is the boy who lives next door to her, and I know they eat halal, but I can't remember where his family is from, but we get like descriptions of the food that they eat, which descriptions of food in books is one of the things that I really, really love, so I'm really enjoying that. And I really like the writing of it. It feels obviously it's YA, but I think it's slightly older YA because they are 18 and seniors in high school. And just Ophelia feels like she's a really good head on her shoulders, which is something that I really appreciate. Also, the parents in this book are all seemingly pretty present, which again is something that I appreciate. It makes it feel more realistic to me than some of the like shenanigans, specifically the Pretty Little Liars books are where sticking out with like the way the parents handle things in those books. But I like it. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star read, but at this point it's like definitely a 4-star. And depending on how emotionally impactful I feel like the rest of the plot is, it might end up being a 5-star read. I'm really, really enjoying this one. And something that I've also learned about myself is last year I read You Should See Me in a Crown, which again was another like queer book about a girl trying to like do a prom thing. I guess I like that as a trope. I don't know if that even is a trope, like building up to prom, but I'm enjoying it. So I will keep you apprised of my progress in these books. And it is Monday currently. I came home for lunch between classes because, to be honest with you, I packed my lunch and then decided I didn't want to eat what I packed. So I came home and made myself something. So it's about 1:30. I have class at 3, which means I need to leave here probably around 2:30. But I'm going to take my dogs out one more time before I go. It's raining, thus the rain jacket. But yeah, that's my update for right now. I'm really excited to start another vlog. And if I get any other books during the time of this vlog, then I will potentially tack another one on the end. Or maybe I'll just start a new vlog. But I want to read more new releases. I'm honestly not in the mood to read my TBR at all. So I might not even do a TBR game for May. I might just give it a break because I've been really enjoying mood reading and I'm just having a good time. So let me know if you think I should abandon my TBR forever in the comments down below. But I'm gonna go take these dogs for a little walk in the rain, which my little dog hates the rain so much. I actually bought him a rain jacket, but he doesn't like it either. If I put it on him, I'll give you some clips of him paddling around in his little rain jacket. But that's what I'm gonna go do, and I will update you when I have an update for you. Good morning. It is the next week. It's like Monday, and I did actually finish both of the books that I was gonna read for this vlog, but I also purchased another book to read for this vlog, so we're gonna do that as well so that it's not just 2 clips, because that would be kind of weird. I did not update you in the middle of either of these books because I finished them around the same time, but I don't have a review yet for Sundial because I don't know how I feel yet. I finished it yesterday when I was driving around running errands, and I definitely didn't like it as much as I liked The Last House on Needless Street because that was one of my favorite books of last year, and just the way that it, like, all of the twists hit me was much different than the way this book hit me, I guess. But I also felt much more connected to the characters in Sundial than I did to Ted in The Last House on Needless Street or Olivia or any of the other characters of that book. So I think I've explained what this is about, but it's about this woman, Rob, who grew up in the desert. Her family has a lot of like weird history, and she's married to this abusive man, Irving, and they have 2 daughters together, Callie and Annie, and she's worried about her older daughter, Callie, because something happens at home, and she decides that it's time to tell Callie about part of her family history. So she takes Callie back to the house she grew up on, which is this ranch called Sundial out in the middle of the Mojave Desert. And we gain a lot of the story through flashbacks. There's also chunks of the story that are told as like, it's like a book within a book almost. But I was really confused by that part. And I don't think it ever really fully worked for me. But once I figured out that it wasn't like, I don't know. Once I figured out that it wasn't actually like a part of this world, it was like a part of Rob's imagination, it made a lot more sense. So that's that book. Very disturbing. Definitely check trigger warnings if you're like easily affected by things. It's got animal cruelty in it, but it's animal cruelty from like a lab setting, if that makes sense, for the most part. And anything else that's like mentioned isn't actually like graphically talked about. So I would just be aware of that going in. But I don't know what I'm going to rate that book yet, so I'm going to have to come back and let you know. The other book that I finished for this vlog was Ophelia After All, and that I'm giving 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I don't know what to say. So it's about this girl, Ophelia, who has always had crushes on boys, and that's like sort of what she's known for in her friend group. She's got this rose garden that she takes care of. Her mom is an English professor, which is why her name is Ophelia, after Ophelia from Hamlet. and she loves flowers. She wants to be like a botanist, and it's the end of her senior year of high school, and she is like trying to plan for the perfect prom. She's got this friend group, and one of the girls in her friend group, two of the boys in her friend group are like both in love with. And so there's like that drama going on. There's a lot of different discussions of different types of sexualities, not until the very, very end of the book, I will say, but it's just very like wholesome the way that it's all discussed, I guess. But it's about her developing feelings for a girl who is like adjacent to her friend group, and then just sort of like following where that takes her. And it's less a romance between the characters. Like, I wouldn't say it's a romance at all, really. It's more of like it's very much a coming of age story. And it's very much like coming to terms with your sexuality and who you are, which I really liked. I really enjoyed this one. It made me cry. So we know I love a good cry. But yeah, I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. And I don't know if Raquel Marie has other stuff out there, but I would definitely read it. So maybe my YA contemporary slump is over. But maybe not. Maybe it was just this book. So I really liked it. I felt like it was handled very maturely, and I like older YA typically because I feel like it's more relatable to like my current state as an adult. But also because like, I don't know, that is a part of my life. I'm not like nostalgic for it, but I definitely have like feelings and emotions tied to being about to graduate high school that I don't necessarily have to like a band competition or something, if that makes sense. So for me, this was more like my speed, I guess. But the book that I bought, where is it? I purchased House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas, which is the sequel to House of Earth and Blood. This came out in March, I think. I am really excited to read it. I loved House of Earth and Blood. I'm very excited to read House of Sky and Breath. So this is about 800 pages. Truly, the other one is like this much of it, but they're the same number of pages. I think this one has 2 more pages in it, so I don't know if they just used thicker paper this time or what. But I'm going to start reading this. Hopefully I will finish this vlog. I want this to go up on Thursday, so I'm hoping that I finish this. I finished House of Earth and Blood in 2 days. So I think I can finish House of Sky and Breath in 4. I think that should be fine. So that's my plan for the rest of this vlog. I will update you when I have an update of this. I'm going to try to, I haven't started this yet, but I'm going to try to update you maybe about a quarter of the way through or a third of the way through, and then at the end. That's my plan. Hello. So I'm about a quarter of the way into, or a third of the way, I guess, into House of Sky and Breath. It's Wednesday. I usually edit during this time for my Thursday video and set it to upload, but my morning class was canceled. I don't know. My professor said she's like not feeling well, but it's not COVID, but it's also like thunderstorming and flooding out. So I'm wondering if she's just like didn't want to drive. I don't know, but shout out to her. So it's like 10 a.m. I think, because I drove to campus. I don't check my emails. I don't know if I'm the only person who's like this. I don't check my emails, but there's a kid in my class who this is the second time she's canceled the morning of, or like late the night before after I would have checked my emails for the last time. So every time she does it, I see this kid from my class like walking to his car. Today I saw him sprinting to his car, and I was like, I wonder if we don't have class today. So I checked my emails, and I didn't have to pay for parking because we did not have class today. So yay. So I'm back. I think I'm going to film a different video to go up tomorrow just so I have something ready that I can edit tonight if I don't finish this book. But if not, I'm going to finish this book and then I will edit this and this will go up. I guess I should give you an update on how I'm feeling about what I'm reading. I like it. It kept with, so this is a sequel, so I'm not going to like spoil the first book, but the first book also sort of follows like some sort of mystery line, and Bryce and Hunt have to get in, and that's how they get like involved with each other, is that they have to do this mystery, solve this mystery sort of, and that's kind of the thing that's happening again, which I think is very interesting. I'm less into it than I remember being. The first one I read in like a day and a half because I just wanted to keep reading. I was like devouring it. And I don't know if it's just been 2 years and I'm not as into Sarah J Maas's writing style anymore or what it is. I know Elias from the channel Elias, he talked about this in his wrap up recently and he gave it 3 stars. He said it was almost 2 stars, but he bumped it up to 3 stars. But I think he doesn't like Sarah J Maas in general, and I typically like her stuff. But he said that he felt like the writing was the worst quality that he's seen from her. So I don't know if that's like infecting my opinion. But I'm going to keep going, obviously. I really like the world of Crescent City. I know urban fantasy is not for everyone. I really enjoy it in this context, especially. I don't think necessarily if I started reading a different series now that was urban fantasy the way that this is, where it's like on a separate world, like not attached to, as far as we know, not attached to like this world with magic. Because there's like urban fantasy light, like Harry Potter. So that's like set in our world, but some people have magic. This is like entirely different. Everyone has some sort of ability unless you're just plain human. But I don't know. So I will let you know how I ultimately end up reading it, obviously. I think I'm giving Sundial a 4-star. I think it's like a 4.5. But okay, my thing is, I think if it wasn't by Catriona Ward and I didn't love The Last House on Needless Street, I would have given it 5 stars. But just I want to sort of differentiate it in my brain that it's like less good to me. But maybe I still will give it 5 stars. I don't know. I haven't rated it yet on Goodreads or in my reading journal. So I will let you know when I finally do. But I'm going to go ahead and read for a bit. And then I will catch up with you when I have an update. Good morning. So it is now Thursday, which is the day that this vlog was supposed to go up. I did not end up filming another video yesterday because I'm very silly, but I'm going to try to finish the book today. I have like just over 200 pages left, which is just over 4 hours of reading. Can I do it? I don't know, but I'm liking it more. I'm getting more invested in the plot of this one. I will say, I think it's slower than House of Earth and Blood, or at least I'm not as gripped by it, and I'm not quite as interested in what's going on. I don't really know if that's it's been 2 years, so my tastes as a reader have changed, or if it's just not as good of a story for me. I don't really know. But I'm not necessarily disappointed because I really do think it'll be a 3.5 rounded up to 4 stars. And I've heard that the ending is very, very good. So it'll probably be a solid 4 stars by the end. But at this point, it feels like it's too long. It feels like all of the stuff that happened in the first book, it needed to be 800 pages. This one does not feel like it needs to be 800 pages. It definitely feels like there are things that are being repeated that aren't necessary. There was a big reveal that happened that I can't appreciate. One other thing that I will say about this book that I don't know if Sarah J Maas always does, and I just haven't noticed it before, but she will switch perspectives in the middle of a section. So not even like a lot of times people will switch perspectives at a paragraph break, but there will be one section. I don't even know how I'm going to explain this, but you know how in chapters, there are sections that there's a break and you can tell that it's a scene change. It's even kind of weird for me when authors switch perspectives there, just because it feels like they should stick with whatever they're doing, but I understand it more. But she will start out a section in a scene from one person's perspective, and midway through the scene, switch to the perspective we're seeing the scene through. And I know why she's doing it, so we can because she wants us to have the feelings that character is feeling, and it's all in third person, so it's not that weird, but it's just something that I've noticed. So I don't know if that's just me being nitpicky, and it doesn't really bother me per se. It's just, again, is something that I noticed at one point, and I was like, wait, I thought we were supposed to be in this character's perspective, but now we're in this character's perspective. So it's not really taking away from my enjoyment. It's just odd for me. So I'm going to try to finish that today. I do have to go to work, but I will catch you when I catch you. Probably the last update will be the end of the vlog. So are you being a good boy? Murphy, you're not looking at me because you're nervous? That's okay. Marvel, are you being a good boy? Yeah. What? You want attention? Oh my goodness. You guys, I just finished House of Sky and Breath. And the ending did make up for it being slow in the middle. So everyone who said that is right. Sorry, I'm laying down because I'm really hungover. So I've been just reading in bed all morning, but I finished it, and I'm going to give it 4 stars because I didn't dislike it. I think I liked the first one better. I just felt more gripped the whole time when reading the first one. I've already mentioned this a bunch, but I read the first one in 2 days, and it just really, I was so enthralled with the character and the story. And what I really liked about this one is that we get a lot more of side characters, and it expands the world a little bit. And just, the ending was wild. There were so many reveals that some of them I guessed, but a lot of them I was like, wait. So, yeah, I don't know. That's it. I think I'm going to end the vlog here. I have to edit it, and hopefully I'll get it up on Sunday. So I missed a video this week, but it is what it is. That's just sort of going to happen for the next little bit at least, because I'm so stressed out trying to do everything. I just can't. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to this point, don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Also, comment down below if you've read any of these books and how you felt about them. And let me know what you're like most looking forward to that's coming out this year, like the new release that you're most excited to read. And if you've read it, tell me how it was or whatever. But I'm looking for other new releases to read as well. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.